Welcome. Between Two Fiduciaries, once again, this week we're going to be talking about politics and markets, and rightfully so, as it's election day here in November. Okay, Jimmy, the first one we got here is a look at consumer expectations. Now, this goes back in time a little bit to 2016 and then after that. So this is all about the presidential elections. Today's elections are the midterm elections. But what we know is this, is that sometimes you get a situation, and you've had this actually happen, where you have clients who, when one president is elected, they want to sell their entire portfolio. When a different president of a different party is elected, they also want to sell their portfolio. Two different people, two different scenarios. It's a very biased and emotional situation, right?
That's exactly right. The chart spells out pretty clearly. If you're a Republican and Donald Trump wins the election, you turn very happy. If you are a Democrat and Joe Biden wins, you turn much happier. It's right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just the way it is.
And it's interesting too that the independents have a play in here. They don't move as much. Their intensity of thought or expectation is not so high, but it is still there. All right, our next slide here looks at the S&P 500 performance under four different scenarios. You look at it under a unified Republican, so executive branch Republican, Congress Republican, and then the same thing, but it's Democrat, right? It's unified Congress and executive branch. And then you have some discrepancy of the two, a divided Republican president and Congress, a divided Republican or Democratic president and Congress. All of those four different scenarios, and you see the S&P 500 is actually performing pretty similarly.
Yeah, with the with three of those four, it's very similar. I do think these numbers are interesting. With the divided with Republican president, we're not advocating for anything. These are just reporting the numbers as they are, and just to give the folks out here listening and watching a visual of what has actually happened.
Separate of this, there's been some other empirical research done, and it says really that political party and the markets don't have a whole lot of correlation.
That's exactly right.
All right, Jimmy, talk to me about this one, because I know you've looked into this a bit.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So the midterm elections have historically been a very good time for the S&P 500. You'll see since 1950, the average return of the S&P 500 12 months after the election is 15%, and that is without any down years in that time. So we're not saying that you should go all in on stocks because the midterm election is here today, but it is an interesting and important data point to consider in the portfolio construction.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. That's all we have. Go vote, everybody. Have a great one.